and posthumous recognition for Judge Emily Powell will be presented to Tony Powell by Attorney Chuck Ross, GCBA past president.
The award of merit is given for service to the Gwinnett County Bar Association and to our president. And I can think of no one more deserving of that award than Judge Emily Powell. I had the blessing to know her for over 20 years. First as a rookie prosecutor in her court, later as a colleague helping teach classes to community groups about fraud, as a co-coach with her and Tony in mock trial, and most recently, she's the wife of and mother of my law partners. But in each of those roles, I saw the same thing: a dedication to the craft, a dedication to the law, a dedication to the community. She instilled the spirit of whoever she touched, making sure that you did the best at what you did. I can tell you, when I was a prosecutor, whenever I came across a search warrant that had her name on the bottom, I wasn't worried in a motion to suppress, because I know she had already made sure that that officer had dotted the I's and crossed the T's before she put pen to paper. And I can tell you from sitting in the duty courtroom and watching her in TPO hearings, that every one of those litigants in there, they knew that at that time, in that place, they were being heard, and that the most important things they were saying was the most important things to her at that moment. And that dedication went on to her colleagues as well on the bench. I can tell you that every sitting magistrate, including the chief magistrate, and many of our Superior Court and State Court judges today, use the tools of the trade that Emily Powell taught them as a magistrate in Gwinnett County. It was just something about her, something that made you not want to let her down. And I'm not sure if it was the pioneering spirit that led her to be in the initial female class at Davidson College, whether it was the fact that she was the first female attorney magistrate in Gwinnett County, whether it was the 20 years that she spent on the magistrate bench, or whether it was being a mother and a wife in the Powell family. But each of those instilled something in all of us. And it's a feeling to do our best and not let her down. And I'll just tell you a quick anecdote before I sit down. On my first day at the law firm, after lunch, Judge Powell walked into my office, and she brought a large peace lily, the biggest plant I've ever seen in my life. And she said, "I thought you needed an office warming gift. I brought this from home." And I knew it was a plant that she loved. And I thought, by God, Chuck, you better not let that plant die and let down Judge Powell. And I can tell you, 5.5 years later, at 4:30, when I walked out of my office and I poured a cup of water in that plant, there were still 3 new buds on that plant. And the day I retire, I will take that plant home with me. Our profession is better because of Judge Emily Pate Powell. And it's my pleasure to present this award to her son and her husband.
Emily would be startled. Awards were not her thing, not something that she would have expected, and so for that, I'm grateful. The outpouring of the community, and mainly the community of boxes that are on the wall of the courtroom, has been spectacular. Emily would have been startled by the attention that her death created, and by the outpouring of love and concern for her family. And we couldn't have been sustained without the group that is in this room and the group that we see on the boxes on the wall. Many of those boxes she loved. Many of those boxes. And it is appropriate that Judge Hutchinson oversees this courtroom and that Judge Davis is present, because they're both her long-term bosses who served with her in the magistrate court, and she especially loved those times. One of her last things that she told me as we talked about future was her future that she wanted to spend in the magistrate court for a time longer than I had expected. And it wasn't, I tell you, it wasn't the domestic violence cases and it wasn't the criminal warrants that lured her there. It was the friendships of those people, both in the bar and those she served with and those in the legal community. Judge Doran has been in that, Judge Rodatis has been in that group, and to see their boxes today is heartwarming. Emily would easily trade the award for the gift of the presence of those people who are on those boxes and present today, who are our brothers and sisters in the bar. That was the strength of why she did this. It was not for money or legal recognition or awards. She loved to be with you. And you have the bar, those of you who hadn't been in it as long as we have, the 35 and up crowd, in terms of years of service, need to know that there is a community around you that might fight with you from time to time and go to battle with you and do what we're trained to do. But when you're in trouble and when you're down and when you hurt, they'll show up. And that's what this award will remind us of as we hang it on our wall. It's the gratitude for you, what you've done, and how you've recognized a beautiful woman who we love. God bless you.